So I linked the fire quite a bit before I did the DLC, so there wasn't anything to show at the end really. I just ended the game and moved forward into New Game Plus, um, or New Game. So what I wanted to say, I just wanted to summarise what I felt about the game. Um, you can see from the just looking around you, all that's absolutely gobsmackingly beautiful. It's all rendered, so it's not just a picture in the background that they bring in later. It's actually all rendered. All that's rendered. Um, it's stunning. The graphics, they really have gone to town this time, and it needed it because, excuse me, the graphics in 2 were appalling. As a PC player, I just looked at the graphics and couldn't believe what I was seeing when I played the game. I thought, how can you make Dark Souls 2 and the graphics aren't as good as Dark Souls 1? Yes, the actual design and artwork, as usual, was stunning. Manjula, walking out in Manjula in the sun was just one of the great moments. But the actual graphics, the lack of textures, and I don't know, it just looked as though it was made for a console from the 80s to me. So I was never very happy about it. But this one, um, give it credit, it's stunning. It really is. It's held my attention just with little things. Look at the graves. I could just walk around the areas looking at various bits for ages. No, if I wasn't worried about the enemies. Um, the view of the castle. Look at the walls, just gorgeous. It helps at this resolution on a PC, of course, a decent spec PC. But look at Firelink, and you can go to the top of that tower and you can see all the way down here. All beautifully rendered, very good. The world design itself, when I first came in, got to Firelink and then found out you had to teleport to the first area. I was disgusted. I thought, God, that's already a step down from Dark Souls 1. But I've changed my mind. Um, the amount of detail they've got in this world, and yet you still travel basically from first bonfire in Lothric Castle all the way through. There's just a couple of places where you do teleport. Yes, you can teleport from any bonfire to another bonfire, which is a bit of a shame really. And then the DLC you teleport to, but you can't blame them for that because you can't really build it to fit onto the world and then explain why you couldn't see it before. So I accept that. But the actual design and artwork, um, I loved all the artwork in all 3 Dark Souls games, but it really is absolutely superb. Just just the sheer amount of times I just stopped and looked at the landscape because it looked so good. Uh, so the enemies, I absolutely love in this game. I think they've again excelled. Such clever enemies, enemy design. Sorry. Uh, just just when you think you're beating the game and finding it easy, it'll put some enemy in. It'll just drop a different one in, and you'll be stuffed again. Something that I absolutely love. Something that works really well. Um, I mean even even just when you go to the ring city and you get the little guys um, who are cursing you, it's just another brilliant thing to think of in the fight, where you have to sort of take that into account. or the locusts. I absolutely love the locusts with their quite powerful attack and the way they came up from the floor. Beautiful design, everything about it in that way has been top notch. The animations are just wonderful. I mean, just absolutely love the bosses, all the little enemies. Just sheer design on these is just so good. But animation, look at the character. Cape, not only is Cape moving, but is it a skirt? Parts of his arm are moving, breathing. See how he's breathing now. Um, Everything felt good about this one. I can remember I actually played a little bit of this before I played Dark Souls 1 for the first time. And I went to Dark Souls 1 and couldn't believe how difficult it was to actually control anything, control the character. Whereas this one, everything feels so smooth and easy. But the animations and design of these characters is just beautiful. I absolutely love it. I also love the way the enemies actually stalk you. So you always, I mean, not so much with these, I guess, but oh, but so with the bigger enemies, the Black Knights and everything, I love the way they sort of slowly wander around before they rapidly attack you. I find that really good. The sound on this game is just sensational. I mean, whoever was responsible for doing the sound deserves a medal. Listen to everything, and every little animation seems to have a great sound to it. Switch to a different weapon. It all sounds right, doesn't it? Just beautiful. Everything sounds right. Even those little animations actually look good. When see where it hits the floor, there's little bits pop up. Just fantastic. So pretty faultless there. So the complexity of it, uh, getting the story endings, you know, you can miss them so easily, and like I actually pretty much have. Um, the complexity of the game and the story behind the game is amazing. I mean, I've barely bothered with the Ring City story, but there's quite a story behind it, and I haven't really gone into the storylines much in the main game, apart from talking to the odd NPC. But if you look at the items, every item has a story behind it. Frost accumulates in the body, causing frostbite, which saps one's health, lowers absorption, and slows stamina recovery. The great hammer was wielded by Vort. Everything here has a story behind it. A stone hammer wielded by the Milkwood Knights. The head has naturally formed stone, but even each item like has its own. The guardians of the church for whom remain watch over Princess Filianor's external slumber, along with the spears of the church. things like this. Almost every item has something in it, some story. So if you actually read Spears of the Church face unduly treacherous foes, this allows them to draw upon formal majesty and summon a row of upward pointing, upward thrusting ritual spears. Don't know what you actually do with that though. Oh, you equip it in their thing, don't you? So if we put it down here. I can't do it anyway. Magic weapon. Fair enough. So yeah, the complexity in the story. If you just go through and play through, if you're one of those who's happy enough like me to just play through, you probably won't get much of the story from what you're doing. But if you're one of those who reads every item, there's this amazing understory that is actually brilliant, really brilliant, beautifully pieced together, and it's unique in gaming, I think. And I also love the melancholy way NPCs talk to you. I've loved that all the way through the series. There's just something about it that makes you feel uneasy, like why they're so calm in this ultra-violent world, and I don't know, it's just got a great feel to it. So there's obviously a balance in this game between endurance and enjoyment. So because a lot of it is in endurance, there's no doubt. You can't say it isn't. Soul Eater Medea Soul Eater Dark Eater Medea was, for an example, nearly had me in tears. So you have to be the sort who's got a lot of time to play it as well, I guess. And it's a long time to play it. It's taken me so long, but I'm so glad I did, and I'm so glad I did it without a shield as well. But that was just my challenge, personally. Um, if ever you're thinking of playing it and finding it really hard at the beginning, you can make it a lot easier for yourself by maybe going enough strength to grab a shield. It won't save you. You're still going to find most of the things, most of the bosses difficult, but it will help. But of course, you've seen me cut through some of the bosses in this game. You won't be able to do that because you'll be one-handed. It's not a massive difference, I don't think. I certainly found it easier with the shield, but some of the bosses I've cut through quite fast, and actually it's worked out better. The Nameless King, for example, took me ages to cut him down, so he was constantly doing his attacks against me. So going in with a two-handed, quite strong weapon with frostbite on it seemed to demolish the dragon fairly quickly, and so it was easy to get onto his second phase. And even then, it had quite a bit of stagger on it. I had quite a bit of poise, so I was hitting just straight through him, even though he was hitting me. So it's entirely up to you. The great thing about this game is you can play sorcerer, pyromancer, healer. You can play a thief with sharp, fast weapons with bleed on maybe, or poison. or you can play someone with a big two-handed weapon. You can have a shield. You can throw pyromancies. It's this is what I like about this game as opposed to Bloodborne. I mean, I enjoyed Bloodborne, really did, but I thought it was a bit dull in the fact that um, you didn't really have a lot of variation. Um, you can build a character in this, and if I want, I can do something like that, where I'm actually doing pyromancies and using a sword. Pyromancies in one hand, sword in the other. So you can actually do that, or even, you know, you can. What's that? I don't know what that was. So you can fire a. I'm out actually because I haven't built a character with FP. You can't do that. But if you want, you can actually switch and use all of them. So you can use the soul arrow, switch to pyromancy. I could throw a fireball if I wanted to. Just switch that to a fireball. Oh, I can't, can I? I haven't got to filing yet. But I can change that to a fireball. I've actually got the means to do it. But I love the way you can do sorceries and sword, or I can do sorceries and shield, or I can do pyromancy. You can even do dual pyromancy. I'm not sure there's a purpose for it. You can do heals with miracles. You can do lightning attacks with miracles. You can lightning your sword up with miracles. There's all sorts. You can turn yourself into an area of effect character, poison mist and things like that. Poison the area. So the actual amount you can do, that's what makes this so enjoyable to me. I prefer this to Bloodborne, but thanks for watching. If you watched the whole series, 90 videos is a lot. I've tried to keep them a bit shorter than the ones I did for Dark Souls. I think I have actually enjoyed this more. Mainly because in Dark Souls it was my second playthrough, so I wasn't bothering with no summons. So I didn't enjoy the boss fights as much when I was just racing through trying to get the videos done, but this one I've had to actually work really hard to do the bosses. The fact that I've never played without a shield before, I honestly, when I started this game, I looked back at the first video and I honestly didn't think I'd be able to do it. It was terrifying when I started, but now it feels a really natural thing to do. So but it adapts to your play style, so you just learn whatever play style you get. So if anyone says, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, it's entirely up to you. If you want to go with pyromancers in one hand, or sorcerers in one hand in this case, and sword in the other, it's your choice. You will learn to be good at it. So this is me signing off. Thanks for watching, and I might do one of Dark Souls 2 at some point, but I don't know what character to do yet. But If I do, have a look for it on the channel. Thanks a lot. See you later.